Good morning, early birds. How are you? I'm here, but I have a little late, but I have my coffee on. I have my face washed. I have my teeth brushed. Do you have your teeth brushed? And I am all ready for you. And it's a little cool in Michigan. I'm looking at, but I wore this colorful dress. It has long sleeves because it's a little cool, and I don't get to wear this dress very often because it's a dress, and I wouldn't wear this in a classroom, but I'd wear it in the classroom. What is that bump? What is that bump? You know, there were so many things that we had planned yesterday that we were, which is something we are going to learn about today. There we go. All right, so we're back. Sort of. Let me say, so numbers, I said we have a gazillion dropped frames, but that's not a number. And we know that because we're talking about numbers today as well. So let me show you the things that I forgot to even talk about. And they're on this chalkboard. Look at that. When I was teaching character education at the Catholic school, the local Catholic school here, which I really enjoy doing, we did a sort of a Jeopardy kind of thing, right? And so of course we didn't have nice little Jeopardy digital things that you write on and it broadcasts it. But I did have chalkboards, and I found the chalkboards, and I actually have a whole box of like 46 pieces of chalk. I mean, like that I've like had for honestly 20 years. Anyway, so I've got chalk and I have a chalkboard, and I thought I was going to set up. Look at that. My flowers are dying here, but look at the lilies. I told you lilies come out and they last a long time. They last a lot longer than the roses. And remember, I also told you that these, I don't know what these are called here, but look at how long they last. I know. But here is the star of the first part of this early bird classroom. And that is, remember, so when last week we made, in our science class, do you remember why we did this in science class? Do you remember why? Because that is the most important thing. It really, really is. Sometimes I do things because I want to do them, and then I kind of say that this is why I did them, and it really doesn't make any sense. But this does make sense because it is the most important reason why we did this fun craft. Actually, it was fun for me. I don't know if it was fun for you. For some people, it's frustrating. And that is because in science, we need to follow directions. It is so important. And so many people, they start with, oh, let me put this in the recipe. And you're just like, right? Because you're like, oh, you like time? I don't really like time that much. T-H-Y-M-E, time. That is a homophone. We're going to learn those a little bit later on. Oh, I'm so excited about learning even stuff for the early birds. I'm excited about learning again and again and again. So we needed to follow directions is what we need to do in science. And I'm trying to push that down a little bit so she doesn't fall. Because it's a girl. Of course it's a girl. La flores es femenina, I think, in Espanol. So, what did I do? Well, I'll tell you what I did, as you can likely see. I put that in a pot. But here was the thinking behind that pot. And that is, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to put the flowers in this glass vase here. And so I was looking all over the place for my green styrofoam, which is in these little pots here. Oh, let me pull one of them out. They're tight in there. So I was looking for my green styrofoam. And this is what we do when we work with plants, is we use, it's regular styrofoam, but it's green. And it's easy for those straws too, then to push in to that styrofoam, right? Ta-da! So, I was looking for a big piece. Oh, okay. Looks like we're going to get back on. So it's called Spanish moss, in fact, is what it's called. And you buy it for this, to glue right on here and make it look like it's a real plant, right? So I put the green styrofoam in the pots. And then I'll glue Spanish moss. I couldn't find any more styrofoam. So but I found these little pots, and I found some little pieces of styrofoam so that I could finish off my 4 pots. Artificial grass in there, and then put 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers, which would have been very cute, right? In addition, I also found a pipe cleaner that we put in our K-lily. I had a pink one, but I didn't find it in time. Here's it. So I'm so mad because I found it after I found this one. I found this pink one. So of course I would have wanted to put the pink in there instead of that. But I do think that that's cute. It's kind of a little cat in the hat-ish, isn't it? Don't you think it's a little cat in the hat-ish? So why am I telling you all this? Well, lots of reasons. Number one, I want us to remember why we did this project and go back, because it's the most important thing about the project, is that we are learning to follow directions. And even if we decide we want to change something, we still want to write that down as a scientist we do. So somebody else can then, in fact, that's maybe what I'm going to do. I'm going to write everything down that we did. And because that's what a scientist would do. And that's what we'll do next week. Today, however, we are doing math is what we're doing. It doesn't sound like a Dr. Feravich. I get so confused by your titles. Let me tell you that if the title doesn't make sense, you're like, I went to the title, your title, Dr. Feravich, which says that today we are supposed to be doing math families plus comparing numbers. That's what your title says, Dr. Feravich, for day 71. And so far, Dr. Feravich, all we've done is looked at arts and crafts. Look at how it matches my outfit. If you're not seeing everything in the show that's on our chalkboard, watch tomorrow. It'll come up tomorrow, right? That's what happens, right? So it's almost a lot. Sometimes it's what I think I'm going to get to, but I haven't finished everything off yet, right? That's sort of how it works. So anyway, what's the importance of this? Well, number one, I set this whole thing up for you, and then we went outside, right? And so I really wanted to show you how I set this all up. I wanted to show you the pot that my son made, which I also do. I talk about this in one of yesterday's classes. I think I talk about it in the spiritual classroom. I'm pretty sure. Maybe the philosophical one a little bit, or maybe. So, but you can see here, first of all, it didn't work. Frames again. They don't want my voice out there, but they don't know how loud I speak. They just have no idea how loud I can speak. All right, we're back to orange, green, yellow. Going into fall. Same old, same old. Seems like it's Groundhog's Day. But I love being here. That is for sure. That is for sure. I'm talking about the life behind the scenes. That's what I'm saying. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you about was, this is also very important, and that is that we stay clean. It is really important. No matter how you want to talk about that, that we stay clean. Clean is healthy. And what they're trying to get us to do is be dirty little scummy people. And then they're like, oh, here's a miracle drug for you dirty little scummy people. Here's my miracle drug that'll cure you. Hey, we're not dirty little scummy people. We're clean people. Ugh. So what I wanted to show you here is that I cleaned up. Now there are a few things I left here. These I just pulled out of the bag. So I cleaned everything up, all my crafts that I wanted to put together and have in the same spot. I put them in this bag here. So I'm going to show you. I'll turn this over here and we'll do a little moving. It's amazing how much you can get done with one little small. I don't do a bad job with the whole thing. All right. So, and that really helps me remember where things are. So here's my little bag of all the things that we did to make the flowers. And, but there are things I use all the time. Like, oh, I took my ruler to measure my foot yesterday. Hold on. And then I probably put it away. No, I didn't. I left it out. But, you know, it's really, so all the things that I use a lot, get to them a lot. I don't want to have to put them away in the basement with my craft supplies. All right. So I kept the paints out. I kept the ruler out because I'm going to use that. I already used it, right? I took it off the tray and used it. My black marker, I use all the time. Scissors, I use all the time. And the rest of this are the scraps that I had cut out for the daffodil, right? So there's the daffodil. The scraps that I cut out. I wanted to think about what I wanted to do with these scraps, right? Do I want to save them? And this makes a mess. We don't have to save everything. I can recycle these, and I'm going to recycle these. Although I do have to say that these held together. I wish that I had a pink or a blue one that held together. These held together, so I'm going to keep that. And in fact, I'm going to put a staple in it, and we're going to get started with one more daffodil is what I'm going to do. So I wanted to show you the project into it, and that's amazing. Let me show you one other thing about changing things around a little bit, that maybe you change things around a little bit, right? I'll show you something. So I brought some other things up that I found when I found these pots here. I found my little teacher wand. In fact, I will be keeping this out for that purpose. Oh, suck it in. For that purpose. But this I brought out because I wanted to show you that you could use this so you don't have to. You could change. You could vary it. If you vary it, you want to make sure that you're writing things down. As a scientist, we write down everything that we do. So if we do, I feel like I'm like, so if you change something, or if you have ideas for changing it, write it down in your directions so somebody else can follow your directions and make a near perfect, except for their own mistakes, project, right? So I found these sticks, which I, again, will repurpose as a pointing tool. There's my pointer. Watch how many times I use that pointer too. Look at that. So easy peasy for those. I'm going to put one down. I'm going to put two here. I found these. These are leaves. Look at, see these leaves? And they're wires. I have a million crafts. Maybe your mom was like me and did crafts with you guys. And she probably has buckets of crafts. So these are wires. I could wrap these right around the stick. And I would have leaves on my, I can't believe how many times something's been dropped, and I might end up getting out of here. let's see. Oh, back to, all right, so we're back again. I'm trying to do the best I can. I don't know what it looks like because I don't watch, so I don't know how choppy this gets. I do believe that all my words come through except for when the data is completely cut. So I try and repeat myself. That's some loud noises out there. I'm gonna says some of the things that we didn't get done yesterday were math families, and today we're going to compare numbers. So let's take a look at our PowerPoint is what I want to look at. So I'm going to get this, move this off, and we shall see how we've got this positioned here. This is sometimes, I apologize, but sometimes, especially when changing the view or whatever, there we go. That should do pretty well. There we go. Okay. Now, yesterday, if you remember, we did our Roman numerals and you learned so much yesterday. We had all kinds of numbers that we converted. So we learned that they were Arabic numbers, that is the system of numbers that we use is an Arabic system of numbers. We're going to learn something a little different as well today as far as what numbers we use. And these are Roman numbers, right? Roman numerals, Roman numbers is what they are. We use an Arabic system of numbers, and these are Roman numbers. And we learned all of those Roman numbers on the left-hand side, and we learned the rules as we were converting. We also learned that sometimes it's not easy to learn the rules, right? Sometimes it's not easy to learn the rules, but sometimes it's easy to apply the rules. Sometimes it's not easy to learn all those rules right here, but sometimes it's easy to apply the rules. Let me see if I can't get that just a little bit better. Yeah. And there we go. Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm really proud of that. Let me see. I'm probably off. I probably got kicked out of the internet now, though. Come on. There we go. Okay. All right. So what we learned is that sometimes it's not easy to learn the rules, but it is easier to apply those rules. And I don't know why I've got the kiss of death over there, the circle of death. It just really does annoy me. I've got to stop looking at it. Otherwise, I'm going to like go insane. Okay. The computer is running so slow as well. I think what I need to do is I need to kick out is what I need to do and then kick back in. The whole thing, I need to shut the whole thing down is what I'm saying. That's what I think that I need to do. But we're not going to worry about that right now. What are we going to worry about, Dr. Feravich? Well, we're worrying about what we learned yesterday as I'm getting all confused over here because I keep seeing the wheel of death spinning. That confuses me. Oh my gosh. And then I go and pull up a PowerPoint over here. And what ends up happening is I get 6 PowerPoints up here when I only want the 1. There we go. I got it now. We're layered. We're layered. You don't know what I'm talking about? It's okay. What I'm talking about is when we learn the rules, all those rules right there, it doesn't, then do I have to memorize them too? Am I supposed to memorize those rules? No, because when we had applied them, we did 1776 and we put that in Roman numerals. We did 2023 and we put that in Roman numerals, right? And then we also looked at Roman numerals like 90 or 99, and we converted 99 into Roman numerals. So we did both, didn't we, yesterday? So check that out. And that's also, you're like, that's not on the slide. I know. That's why I thought about that. On the title is not Roman numerals yesterday. On the title was math facts. And at last Thursdays, it said Roman numerals, right? So you're like, last Thursday, you're like, oh my gosh, she said Roman numerals and we didn't do Roman numerals. Where's the, and then today, she didn't say Roman numerals, we did. Look at the next day. We were backed up. Sometimes we get backed up. Our titles are, sometimes they're premonitions is what they are. They're prophecies. Our titles are prophecies is what they are. Look it up. Okay. And then we also did some review of subtraction, right? We did some review of subtraction using the concept of takeaway, if you remember, right? And we also showed you that we can subtract or add like a sentence in a straight line, right? But it has to go one way for subtraction. Where addition, it can go either way, can't it? Right? Let me give you an example from this right here. I'm going to change pens. Six plus 11 equals what? 6 plus 11 equals 17. That's a family. That's a math family. Because also part of the family would be what? Well, how about 11? Sorry, Twinkle, you're getting kicked out is what's going on here. This is from Twinkle. 11 plus, this worksheet is 6 equals 17. And do you see that we actually have one more math fact there? Do you see we have one more math fact in our little family of math facts right there? In that family, we have one more. What is it? It's a subtraction, isn't it? We have one more subtraction that we can do in that math family. 17 minus what? 11 equals what? 6. And what you've just done here, what we've just done together, is we have created a math family of 17, 11, and 6. There's our math family. Now we said, again, we can write these in a line like a sentence, but we can also do our math. And this is really the way that we most often see math problems. We most often see them one under the other. And remember that in addition, we can say 11 plus 6, or we could say 6 plus 11, right? But in our subtraction, we cannot do the same thing. It doesn't mean the same thing. When we take apples or markers, for example, and we're putting them together, these markers, so I have one marker here and I want to add 3 more markers. It doesn't matter whether I have 3 markers here and add 1 or 1 marker here and add 3. I end up with the same. But when I take them away, if I have how do I want to do this? If I have 2 markers, look at that. Honest to gosh. Of course, this dress has so many colors in it. How could I not find a color to match this, right? In fact, where does this even match? I don't know, but on the screen it does. Right there. It does on the screen. Okay. Where are we on time? All right. Woo, 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 woo. We still have 15 minutes, so we'll get to some of what we're talking about because we're talking about math families, right? So, which I said on yesterday's chart, and it was a premonition for today. If I have 2 markers, I cannot take away 4, right? So when I have let's say, I'm going to write it in green, 2 markers, I cannot take away 4. So we cannot write it in the same way. We call that transposing numbers. To transpose, I can put one number here or I can put the number here. It doesn't matter. In addition, it doesn't matter. But in subtraction, it does matter. Okay? All right. And what did we learn here? We learned this is our math family. That's what we learned, right? Okay. All right. Let's move on. So the next several pages are all about our math families to understand how these numbers work. We're trying to understand how numbers work. It's not because I want to have to explain it unless I'm a teacher in math, right? It's not because I have to memorize the rules. No, it's not because I have to memorize the rules. That 9, 1, and 10 are all part of a math family. No, I don't have to memorize those rules like that. I have to understand the concept of numbers. And understanding numbers is a feeling. It's a feeling. Understanding something, not 100% of it is a feeling. You have to have some brain activity as well. But part of math is just understanding numbers is part of it. If I were to ask, even a teacher of, let's say a teacher of reading, a teacher of English, what's a math family? They probably couldn't tell you. An English teacher probably couldn't tell you what a math family was, right? Especially a college English teacher probably couldn't. Who's even smarter, who's supposed to be smarter, for sure probably couldn't tell you what a math family was. But do they understand the concept of you can transpose numbers in addition but not subtraction? Absolutely. Absolutely. Our rules on grammar, right? We do not necessarily have to know every grammar rule. I know that these people are doing this on the internet and are chopping this whole thing up in their lame 3rd grade efforts to make me look silly. to make a teacher look silly, because that's what these people are doing. They just have no time on their hands and they want to make a woman look silly, which makes them just so unbelievably worthless. Yeah, kind of is. All your time and all your efforts, what do? You're worthless. So, understanding these numbers is what we want to do, not memorize the rules. We want to have a feeling for numbers. And people who are really good at math, engineers who are really good at math, they are good at it not because they could tell you the rules, but at a very young age, they likely had a very good feeling for math, for numbers. They felt good about them. They felt like they knew and understood the numbers. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like you understand numbers? Do you feel like you totally get it? Or when we do English in our grammar, do you feel like I get this? I do get it. I get it. Do you feel that way, or you're like, no, What is it that you do get really easily? What is it that you feel that you understand? Again, she needs to put back up those rules. I have to write down those rules. No, you don't. What you have to do is you have to be able to translate a Roman numeral to regular numbers and regular numbers to a Roman numeral. You don't have to memorize the rules. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? The difference is, do you know how to do it? Because that's all you need to do. You need to know how to do it. All right? The rules might help some people to know how to do it. And certainly if you violate a rule, if you came up with the wrong Roman numeral, somebody would tell you, you would have to learn, right? Of course, that's what we're doing. That's why I'm the teacher. That's why you're in the classroom. We're learning. Where are we on time? Okay. All right, let's take a look at some of these math families, which I'm sure is just easy peasy for you. What is the missing number in our math family? We've got 1 and 9. What's the missing number in our math family? Of course, it's 10, right? 1 plus 9 is 10. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. 10 minus 1 is 9. There's our math family. See how easy that is? All we're doing is trying to understand the relationship between numbers when we are adding and subtracting. What's the missing number in this math family? Do you know what it is? Can you tell? 6 plus 2 is 8. The missing number must be what? 2. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. There's our math family. Let's move on. What's the missing number in our math family? Oh, this is so easy, isn't it? It's so easy. 7. 3 plus 4 equals 7. 4 plus 3 equals 7. 7 minus 4 equals 3. 7 minus 3 equals 4. There's our math family. And here, hopefully, you know what, you can do this one on your own. What's the missing number? And put those, you can pause it and put those missing numbers in on your own. Here are I have just pages and pages of math families. So write in your missing number for these snail fact families. And here we've got, balls or balloons of math families. And here you write out the entire math family, right? When we are starting with, let's go ahead and blow this up a little bit right here. When you're starting with a math family, how about we do that? And in fact, I'm going to go back to the other ones. I didn't realize I was on the screen. I didn't have it blown up, and it should have been blown up as we were doing those. Oh, and now I'll just sit there with my face on the screen and none of the other stuff. How about that? Okay. When we start with our math families in subtraction, I think it's a really, really good idea to start with, let's do it in red like the other ones are, to start with the largest number of the bunch, right? So here's the largest number of the bunch, and let's just plug that in to our subtraction math family, right? Because that is going to be the largest number of the bunch. And then we can go ahead and take 11, put 11 in there, and put 8 in there, and then let's figure it out. 19 minus 11 is 8. 19 minus 8 is 11. I got a kind of a thick marker right here. And then we can go put the other numbers in for addition. 11 plus 8 and 8 plus 11. And that's how we do these math families, right? And again, it's the more you do them, you're just like, all right, Dr. Feravich, that's so easy. How old do you think I am actually? What do you think? I just came out of the womb? That's so easy. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad that that is so easy, because that makes you feel better when you got it, when you have a concept like that and you understand the concept, and the concept is so easy for you. Maybe you had a really hard time, like I kind of did, making that K-Lily. Maybe that didn't come so easy, but these math families, maybe they do come really easy for you, right? Excellent. We're happy about that. We want these things to come easy for you. But if you go and you complete this whole page and the snail math families before that, and the what was before the snail math family? Oh, yeah. No, and these diamonds or whatever, bluestones, whatever families. If you go through and complete all of those math families, it's not that you're going to understand every math family for 14, for the number 14. No. So how about 7 and 7, right? How about 5 and 9, right? How about 3 and 11? All of those are math families for 14 as well. We're not memorizing every math family. That's not what we're doing. We're getting used to understanding numbers when we add them and when we subtract them. That's all that we're doing. Okay, we didn't get to a lot today. If you didn't catch on, it's math week is what it is. And so next week we're going to we'll have probably science week, because we haven't done science in a while. And then after that, vocab week or phonics week or grammar week, right? After that. And I don't know that we're going to stay and do it a week at a time, but right now we're spending a week on math. That's what we did. That's what we needed to do. This is Dr. Annette Feravich. I am the teacher. I was looking at that lovely stop that you guys have. Is it humorous to you? Is that humorous, what you guys do to widows and teachers and women? This is Dr. Annette Feravich. I'm the teacher. Thank you so much for joining me here in the classroom. Come back for the Bookless classroom. I'll be here in half an hour.